a lot of coaching is dealing with change and people going through various forms of change. And I won't bore you with a bunch of the theory, but one of the practical bits that really sticks out for me is that there very often is this threshold over which maintaining the status quo is just becoming painful to a degree where it's worth breaking out of the safe haven of perhaps the devil to explore something new. Maybe you already know what kind of change would probably be a good change, but it involves a lot of work, discomfort, leaving the nest that you've spent a lot of time building, leaving relationships behind, leaving behind what you know. Whether that's the painful, as in the devil, or whether that's just being okay. Maybe it just got a bit boring, or maybe it's not as exciting as it once was. Maybe over there the grass seems a lot greener. And you don't know whether it really is, because there's a big difference between tourism and immigration, right? So maybe you checked something else out, you got a whiff of something, somebody told you that life is so much better over there, or work is so much more exciting here, or but it's still okay where you are. So I've heard a lot of people consider changing something, big or small, especially when it's big. Their friends often say, "Oh, but why would you give up all of the things you have? It's quite a risk. You really want to take that kind of risk?" Because people have done big decisions and it didn't work out, right? And it was a struggle, and they regretted their choices. And that can happen. You just don't know how it's going to work out. But there's a threshold after which it just becomes so painful for it to be boring, or so painful for it to be actually painful, that people then start getting energized to move. Now I'm going to do it. This is the little drop that brought the barrel to overflow, right? This is the one that moved the needle. There's so many different terminologies even for it, and so many different cultures, so many different metaphors for it. Some people don't wait for it to become painful to go and explore something new. Some people are driven by the excitement of something new. So I think what mediates those kind of behaviors towards change is your own story about change and about excitement, about novelty. We're wired in different ways. Some people want life to be a lot more stable. Some people want life to be a lot more exciting. And a lot more exciting means ups and downs. Lots of change means ups and downs. All these stories that we hear, recently watched a documentary about Miles Davis, so much change, so much pain, so much genius, so much inspiration, so much innovation, right? But that's part of stories with a lot of change. So I think I want to invite you today to think about what your story is about change, what's working in the background, and also what kind of life do you want to live? What kind of work do you want to have? What kind of career do you want to have? The more change we face, the more boldness we have to leave familiar shores and go into the unknown, the more exciting life will be. But excitement also means anxiety. Excitement also means things are going to not work out. And maybe you need to readjust. You're going to fall, get back up. If you want to fall as little as possible, there's ways to keep life as stable as possible. Can't keep it super stable, but there's different ways of living life, and I don't want to judge that. Everybody's making their own choices. Hopefully they make conscious choices about how you want to live your life or work your work, and then you make decisions on that basis. So yeah, change, man. Works in very different ways. Curious about your relationship with change. Always interested in broadening my horizon on that.